Last time on Dell and Dragons. Evil campaign. The party finally reached Waterdeep. After the chaos at the harbor and the tense confrontation with Captain Jack, they were at last off the ship and loose in a city big enough to hide in, profit from, or disappear inside. For the first time in a while, there was no immediate battle to fight, only choices. And in Waterdeep, choices could be just as dangerous as blades. As the group split up, each member followed their own priorities. Torvik started looking into supplies, potions, and the kind of work that paid in blood and coin. Waterdeep's wanted boards and contract opportunities immediately caught his attention. He was already thinking ahead to hunting, bounty work, and whatever violence the city might reward. Finn's day took a very different turn. Hidden in Waterdeep was a massive personal stash. Around 500 gold in wealth, along with gems and valuables. What started as a simple arrival in the city suddenly became a logistical problem. How do you move a fortune without drawing attention? A bag of holding quickly became less of a luxury and more of a necessity. Lark moved through the city in disguise, eventually finding a moment of peace among music students performing outside a college. But even that quiet moment turned unsettling when something from the past seemed to rise back up. A vision, or perhaps a memory, of a young girl that visibly shook her. Waterdeep was already stirring old wounds. Later, Finn and Lark met privately and spoke about two things: Tiber and the orphanage Finn had been scouting. Neither of them fully trusted Tiber, but both admitted he had, in his own way, been looking out for the group. So for now, they were willing to keep moving with him. Then their talk shifted to something more personal. The orphanage reminded them of the kind of place that had once shaped them. And the conversation turned into a dangerous idea. What if they built something different here in Waterdeep? A place that could offer children training, survival, and skill, but with a real choice, instead of forcing them to become weapons the way they once were. Tiber, meanwhile, made his way to the Pickled Fisherman and took stock of things over a drink. When Finn found him there, the two talked about what came next. Tiber admitted the ship was never the end goal, only a tool that got them this far. He suggested staying in Waterdeep for at least a couple of weeks, long enough to make coin, sharpen their skills, and see whether the city became an opportunity or a problem. But the strangest thread of the day belonged to Torvik. Not long after arriving in the city, he caught a tiny mousefolk thief trying to pick his pocket. The little creature escaped through speed, stealth, fog, and sheer nerve. Then somehow made the whole thing worse by tossing Torvik a silver coin as if mocking him. It was not exactly the clean introduction anyone would have hoped for. And then the mouse came back. This time disguised as a beggar, sitting in plain sight waiting for Torvik to notice him. Instead of fleeing, he tried to talk his way in, claiming hunger, desperation, and usefulness. He said he could sneak, steal, and help Torvik answer with contempt, making it clear that weakness earned no pity. So the mousefolk did the only thing that would matter. He fought back. First with cold magic, then with a whisper in Torvik's mind, Caelum will get his revenge. And then, fast as a blink with steel, landing a real strike that drew blood from Torvik, before healing the wound himself moments later. Hurt, heal, threaten, serve, all at once. And somehow, that worked. Torvik did not crush him. He respected him. The tiny thief had proven he was not prey, small, vicious, cunning, more weasel than mouse in Torvik's eyes. By the end of the encounter, Torvik had accepted him as a new companion, and the two left the streets of Waterdeep together. Giant predator and tiny killer, newly allied by blood and violence. By session's end, the party was still scattered, but no longer directionless. Waterdeep had opened before them with wealth, jobs, danger, and secrets. Finn had a fortune to manage. Lark had old ghosts stirring. Tiber was deciding whether the city was a haven or a trap. And Torvik had found the party's newest problem, or newest asset. Will Waterdeep become the party's next great opportunity, or the place where everything starts to unravel? Can Finn and Lark really build something better from the orphanage? Or will the past poison the dream before it begins? What does the new little killer know about Caelum? And what happens when the rest of the party meets him? Find out next time on Dell and Dragons. Evil Campaign.